raged through all Aventásia. The alliance of humans, elves, and dwarves fought against the evil army of the shadows. The war had devastated the country for years upon years, and yet, no one gained the advantage. And so it was that in that time of deepest despair, that an old archaeologist uncovered the location of an artifact of divine fate. The artifact could fulfill every wish, and thus decide the war, for one side or the other. Led by Warlock Munkus, son of Archwitch Mortroga, the Shadows hunted for the artifact. And they would have reached it first, were it not for a group of heroes who stood against it. Wilbur, the young gnome who was the first of his clan to become a mage. Ivo, the courageous elven princess from the woodland realm. And the Critter, a hairy creature from the Northlands, companion of the most brilliant of the heroes, Nate Bonnet, who was supposed to spend the rest of his life at the side of an elven princess, who deserved a kingdom and all the riches in the world, who should stop wasting time talking about himself in the third person. Ah! Good, good. This is good. Although the ground is still getting closer. Part of the jetty. At least some of it survived the explosion. If I'm lucky, this will go all the way up to the island. But somehow I really doubt it will.
Hi, Nate. How's it going?
Good. For now. Could it be that your spell didn't quite work out the way you planned?
I did tell you there were certain risks involved.
I could use some help here, Benny.
Well, you did see what happened last time I cast a spell.
Time to make up for it, then. Now shake a leg.
Oh, I don't know. I might just end up making everything worse.
Let me see. I'm accompanying tons of boulders in a plummet to certain painful death. My death. So just how do you think you could make things any worse?
Worse? I could set the air on fire, or it could start smelling. Very bad.
Can't you just stop time? Or wings! Give me wings! How about that?
Oh, this is all terribly complicated. I really don't feel up to it today, Nate.
Benny!
Perhaps tomorrow? I really do need to think through what's happened today properly.
You get me out of the mess you got us into right now!
Please don't yell at me! I just can't take it anymore!
Benny! Ah! The state he's in, we can forget about miracles. I gotta find something easy, something even he thinks he can do. A flying carpet. Is that too much to ask?
I'm not talking to you.
Why, you... I'm sorry I criticized your work, Benny.
And?
And... that I shook your lamp. And everything else. You meant well.
Well, all right then. I forgive you. What can I do for you?
Carpet!
A flying carpet. Shouldn't be too hard. Should I really dare? Am I really up to it?
Yes! What the heck? What happened here? No!
Welcome, adventurer. I am the tutorial, guardian of gameplay, explainer of controls.
Use the left stick to move the character.
Well done.
If you walk up to an object, context-sensitive actions will be displayed. Walk up to that big lever and press A.
The robot has used the lever, as this seemed logical to him.
Now press B so that the robot looks at the lever rather than uses it.
Excellent. The robot thinks the lever is working.
But if that's so, then where is the problem? That hatch over there, walk up to it and press A.
The little chap seems to think there are advanced engine mechanics hidden behind there. Perhaps that's where the problem is.
Press A again, next to the hatch. First time you press A will allow you to look, the second to use.
Why? Because after a player character has looked at something, the most logical thing to do next is use it.
It's quite simple. Press B when you want to look at something. Press A in order to do whatever that character thinks is the next most sensible move. Is the machine working again? Walk up to the lever and press A.
Appears to be a new problem. Better take a closer look at the engine.
Oops, that wasn't very helpful. Please pick up both gears by pressing A. If you can reach several objects from one position, you can use the right stick to select the one you want to interact with.
Great work. items you pick up will go into your inventory.
You open and close your inventory by pressing Y. To use an inventory item, select it with A, and then select the object that you want it to be used with.
Use one of the gears in your inventory with the engine of the town model. Excellent. Now the second gear. Perfect. You'd better oil the engine before you switch the machine back on again. That should do it. Time to crank it up. Examine objects in the inventory in more detail. Pick up the damaged figure and the toolbox.
Then open the inventory with Y and press B in order to examine the toolbox.
Great! You found a few items in the toolbox.
You can use these items on each other by initially selecting the first object with A and then using it on the second object again with A.
Try to repair the figure in the inventory. Well done. Now place the figure back in its rightful place on the balcony of the castle and start the machine.
last tip before I go, if you press X, all interesting objects in the scene will be displayed. Good luck with your adventures in the Book of Unwritten Tales 2.
About you.
Oh, Mother.
What's wrong with you?
Everything's fine.
No, you don't look well at all. Positively rotund. It is unseemly for an elf princess to cope with her frustrations by comfort eating. If you carry on like this, you won't fit into your wedding dress.
I don't have any intentions of marrying anytime soon.
Oh, darling, we've been through that already. Prince Lalilos is going to be arriving next week. You will like him. He's charming and... Look, he sent us a picture of himself and his sister.
Which of the two is the sister?
The elf nobility, unfortunately, has not got any unshaven Neanderthals to offer. You'll just have to get used to that.
I don't have the slightest interest in that person. Not anymore.
You are at the heart of the elf kingdom, in the castle of your family where you belong. No one here should be sad, tired, or fat. I only want what's best for you, Ivo.
Did you see that? She's locked me in. Yes, only what's best for me. She always says that. I didn't want to tell Mother, but I've not been feeling too well lately, Cheap. I'd say the same thing, but we elves hardly ever get ill. Yeah, you've got a point there. I spent almost a year in the human world and they have some very strange ideas about personal hygiene. Well, I thought perhaps it's a curse. Oh, no, you won't. I'll take care of it myself. Mother would make a state occasion out of it. I don't know either, but I'm sure there's a medical book down in the library. No, rest is not what I need just now. I'll go down to the library and look up what's wrong with me, completely alone, just like a grown-up elf. I'm not going to be stopped, neither by locked doors nor by you. A beautiful red flower. It was only put here a few days ago. Sometimes Mother orders a new plant that looks nice in my room. And then it's replaced and planted in the garden. A delicate, sweet scent. It reminds me of a wood over in the west where I learnt to use a bow and arrow. A delicate, sweet scent. It reminds me of a wood over in the west where I learnt to use a bow and arrow. Normally this bowl is full of fruit and nuts. Presumably Mother has decided I should be without such things whilst I am, as she says, positively rotund. Cheap Cheap likes to look at his reflection. He strikes a pose and then tries to impress himself with it, and succeeds most of the time. I had my birthday during the few weeks that we spent living together here in the Elf Burrow. That was a big deal for Wilbur. He couldn't understand that the significance of birthdays tends to fade after a few 100 years. He insisted on making me a present. He sat in the corner for days knitting me this hat with his little gnarled fingers. My jewellery box serves as a podium for the vertically challenged narcissist. Could you please move aside? I want to get into my jewellery box. He doesn't listen to me anymore since I almost caused him to be roasted by fireballs, decapitated by swords and eaten by monsters. Mother has permitted him to disregard any of my orders that go against her wishes. His interpretation of this can be liberal. Mother's locked me in, as if I was 200 again. The door's locked and can only be opened from the other side. I'll have to find another way down to the library. It may not be befitting of a princess, but this isn't the first time that I've climbed into the garden via the balcony, and it won't be the last. I'm just doing my morning exercises. I wasn't going to. Of course, I could just ignore him and climb down into the garden anyway. He would, however, make a beeline to Mother and tell on me, and who knows what the two of them would cook up for me next. It may not be befitting of a princess, but this isn't the first time that I've climbed into the garden via the balcony, and it won't be the last. OK, he's not looking this way. Oh, there is more than one kind of stretch exercise, you know. Perhaps you'd like to train with me. No chance. I can't sneak down as long as Cheep Cheep's on guard. We have many exotic plants here in the palace, but sunflowers are my favourite. We have many exotic plants here in the palace, but sunflowers are my favourite. Apologies, I need a few of your seeds. An envoy from the Far East gave me this musical box years ago. Wherever I go, I always have its tune in my head. Cheep Cheep, would it be possible for you to stop admiring yourself for 2 seconds and move over to stuffing your beak instead? Don't say I never look after you. I don't know how, but he always seems to know when I'm going against Mother's will. Perhaps it's a sixth sense, or magic. Or he just knows me too well. Not while Cheep Cheep's still on guard. I don't know how, but he always seems to know when I'm going against Mother's will. Perhaps it's a sixth sense, or magic. Or he just knows me too well. I used to look into the woods for days on end, imagining what the world beyond would be like. Now I've seen much suffering, much evil and unkindness in the world out there. But it was exciting. It was alive. Here in the Elf Burrow, everything is so ordered, so perfect, so dull. One day's just like the next, and they just pass by endlessly. One can almost see the edge of the wood through the telescope. But I just can't leave the Elf Burrow. Mother would never forgive me, and there are so many dangers lurking out there. I've been sleeping badly of late, and sometimes I feel tired all day long. I've never been ill, but something isn't right. I hope I'll find the answer in the library. When Nate and the others lived here, I don't know why, and Cheep Cheep was ordered never to leave. The times when the others were here in the critter could never... Wilbur was so excited. He spent hours... complete. Pearls, precious stones, sparkling earrings and necklaces. All the stuff I have to wear at official functions. If it were up to Mother, I would have trunkfuls of this stuff, and a wing of the castle would be my wardrobe. She just can't understand why Pa and I aren't into this sort of thing. Wilbur didn't know that autumn would last for years to come and that elves don't feel the cold, but it was still the best birthday present I've ever had. Mother looked at the hat with so much revulsion that I didn't take it off for days. Hey, Cheep. Oh, missing your mirror? Well, sooner or later you won't be able to stand it anymore. I'm not horrible. I just don't want to be locked in my room like a child. Have you seen this prince? A vain river elf who's only interested in topping up his tan. I'm to spend hundreds of years in the company of someone I don't love? Huh, not me. And how? She will try anything and everything. Nothing's more important to her than getting me married off. Ugh. When I was out there with the humans, it was the first time that I had the feeling I could determine my own destiny. Yes, it was dangerous. Doesn't that go with the territory? A life without risk, that is so... Oh, you don't understand. If I could, I would go right now. You want to stop me? Just like last time. See you later. Yes, of course I'll be a good girl and stay in my room. Not while Cheep Cheep's still on guard. I don't know how, but he always seems to know when I'm going against Mother's will. Perhaps it's a sixth sense, or magic. Or he just knows me too well. A guard with a spear and shield, and like all elven figures, immaculate. Elven craftsmen have centuries to perfect their artistic skills. Only when everything is always perfect, then isn't everything always the same and somehow unimportant? The music box closes automatically as soon as the melody finishes. Hey, withdrawal symptoms? I just need the music box a minute. You don't need to turn your head away from your beautiful reflection for 1 second. Come on. Shh. He's gone to sleep. It got dark and he's simply... No matter. I can now enjoy a few moments of peace. Let's go. As expected, no one here. My parents are in the throne room ruling the lands. Or rather, Mother is. A fairly small, unattractive tree.
Huh. I'd like to see how attractive you'd look if someone disturbed you on the pot in the morning.
You mean...
Anyway, what can I do for you, my little beauty?
Mother put me on a diet this morning so that I'll look perfect for my wedding.
Oh, everything has to be perfect for her. No such thing in nature, of course. Or rather, everything is perfect if you just let nature run its course.
You tell that to Mother.
I have, many times. She'd be very clever in some things, but very daft concerning that.
Now then, she is the queen.
I'm old enough to be able to call a spade a spade. Spade, gardener, get it?
on, Father. You get along well, don't you?
No one understands more about nature than him, that's for sure. But I don't often ask him for help. Thinking has never got a field dug, if you get my drift.
He's just more of a theorist.
The mud on your feet, the smell of fresh earth, all that joy and life. And he's missing out on the lot by just sitting around up there and doing nubbit.
The garden always looks fantastic, Arbor.
Thank you. It's a girt load of work. People always think elf gardens are fabulous by their very nature. But you need a mighty good gardener.
You have got green fingers.
That's just moss, me dear. Happens if you spend all day grubbing around in the earth and don't wash your hands properly in the evenings.
You tree shepherds do a great job.
Tree shepherds? The trees just stand there. What do they need a shepherd? However, I quite fancy one of those shepherd dogs. Hey, Rex, do you want to be my shepherd dog? Nah, my darling, I'm a gardener. Nothing more, nothing less.
I have to get on.
Yep, got a bit to do myself. I just don't know what's wrong with that plant over there. Your mother got a whole heap of flowers given to her the other day from a fairy delegation. All of them took good and strong, just not that one.
Perhaps it needs a special type of soil or something.
Well, anything's possible. If I don't think of something soon, I'll have to ask your father. He can have a little chat with her and she might tell him what's up.
If you're going in, it'd be nice if you didn't tell my mother that you saw me out here.
Oh, you playing hooky again? My lips are sealed.
That leads up to the throne room. Mother will be conducting the affairs of state with an iron will, whilst Pa leans against the tree of life, probably sleeping. Goldsmithing, masonry, and a book about carpentry. Like all books in this library, it's a guest present. The logic behind this must be, those elves, they have so many beautiful statues and items of wood. They'll be really interested in this. Why don't we present them with a book about it? What they don't realise, though, is that if we're interested in a subject, then we'll already know pretty much all there is to know about the matter, and the book's of no use to us whatsoever. Working with wood. There's a master whittler down in the valley. I've enjoyed watching him in the past. He carves animal figures so real that humans and dwarfs believe that they are actually animals turned into wood. This one's more about interiors, making furniture and the like. Plane the wood down by a pixie's thumb and saw the board into 2 equal length pieces. Who knows what that might be good for? A present from one of the northern kingdoms. Strange folk up there. I think it's some kind of test of courage. Helmets with horns. Cool, but useless. There's a selection of cubes here. For a while, it was all the rage at official state visits to give geometric presents. The Biggest Plant Book of Aventásia by Charles Mendel with illustrations by Alexander Bonpland. A standard reference book that Arbor always used to consult every now and then. However, he insists that he now knows it off by heart. Swords of all the idiots who have tried to conquer the elf burrow. It's become less frequent over the last few centuries. Humans and dwarves appear to have learnt their lesson. It's said that a ruler in the north wanted to build himself a throne out of all the swords of conquered enemies. Unfortunately, he died after only conquering one enemy when he refused to heed all the warnings and sat on the throne. This flower clearly is one of the more exotic. It comes from... It's... Why do so many people hate this? Now that explains why this flower is classified as a weapon in 24 countries. What have we got here then? Aha! Ah! Almanac of Elf Medicine. That's what I've been looking for.
Ow! Be careful, if you please.
A speaking book?
An ill elf?
I haven't been feeling too well recently. I'm sleeping badly and have no appetite. I know that elves are very seldom ill, but if it's not that, then it must be some kind of magic or curse.
Seldom ill does not actually mean never ill. Elves can, for instance, suffer from a broken heart.
Oh, please.
It is one of the most common causes of death amongst beautiful princesses.
Oh, it must be something else.
Sensitive elves can sometimes suffer from the pains of the world. There are a variety of ear infections, and of course it could also be lupus. But I think it is something else.
Like what?
To be completely certain, you must mix a potion and drink it.
Are you serious?
Very.
All right, this potion, what goes in it?
It is very easy to make. You need to pound together the green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey and a red herring, and then mix with water into a viscous potion.
Oh, that sounds revolting.
It's medicine. It isn't supposed to taste nice.
And if I drink it, I'll be well again?
We will then at least know what is wrong with you.
This metis bush, where can I find one?
Haven't a clue. I'm just a book and have spent years sandwiched between dusty hymnals and a tome of revolting recipes.
What are the potion's ingredients again?
The green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey and a red herring. You have to put everything into a bowl with a bit of water and pound it until it forms a viscous potion.
Thank you. I think that's all for now.
Normally, it's me that ends patient consultations. You are only a princess, but I am a doctor.
The door can be opened easily from the outside. If it was up to me, it would stay open. A delicate, sweet scent. It reminds me of... a delicate... I will only deploy this flower in self-defense, or when it could prove amusing. A book about woodcrafts, sanding, cutting, hammering, all that sort of stuff. The box, as well as its hinges and lock, has been fashioned from one piece of tree root. A masterful piece of workmanship, just like everything else here in the Elf Burrow. Perhaps I can help Arbor solve the problem with that flower. Let's take a look. This plant reminds me of the one that Arbor's having problems with at the moment. Love Lily. The love lily enters into an enduring relationship with another plant very early in its life, which frequently lasts its lifetime. If the partner plant dies, then the love lily does not normally survive the separation. The plant book said that a love lily chooses another plant to be a kind of lifelong companion. Perhaps it isn't okay because it's on its own. The plant book said that a love lily chooses another plant to... Perhaps it isn't okay 'cause... Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
I think I know the name of your patient. It's a love lily.
You don't look particularly loved up.
That's exactly the problem. Love lilies enter into a lifelong partnership with another plant. And if they're separated...
Then they let their heads droop. Good theory. But the fairies know their plants. They'd never have given us a love lily without its partner.
If I were ill and needed to make some medicine, then you'd help me with that, wouldn't you?
Ill? You're an elf. Elves don't get ill.
But if I were...
Oh, come on, now tell me. How can I help you?
Do we have a lettuce bush in the garden here?
That bush over yonder.
But that fruit's red.
And what colour do you expect, then?
Green. Are they only green when they're not ripe?
Nah, they're blue then. They're green when the bush senses danger.
Pardon?
The lettuce bush has exceptionally delicious sweet fruit. But if it thinks it's in danger, then they go green and very sour. Call it a defence mechanism.
Ah, and the bush only has red fruit because it has nothing to be afraid of here.
That's right.
Do you know how I could get my hands on some honey?
Try the kitchens.
I prefer not to wander through the castle.
Of course. Someone would tell your mother.
Would that beehive in the tree over there be of any help?
Oh, I'd be careful with that. The bees defend their honey and can give you a nasty sting.
Couldn't they be distracted or tricked in some way?
Beekeepers wear protective clothes and use smoke that calms the bees. But I don't have any beekeeper kit here. I just let the bees keep their honey and they pollinate my flowers. That's how we've always done it.
There's something else. About the potion.
Art?
I often see you fishing. Could you lend me your rod?
Of course, if you bring it back in one piece. What's up?
I was convinced that I would have to make my own fishing rod or that you'd ask me to collect a variety of mystical items in exchange for it.
Why? It's only a rod.
Thanks.
Not everything needs to be complicated, you know.
What was that with the lettuce bush and the green fruit again?
If the bush gets scared, feels threatened or unwell, then its fruit will turn green and sour.
There's something else. See you later, Arbor.
See ya!
This is a lettuce bush, just what I need. Only its fruit is red, not green. According to Arbor, the bush's fruit becomes green and sour if it feels afraid or threatened. This is a lettuce bush, only... According to Arbor, the bush's fruit becomes green and sour if it feels This is a lettuce, only its fruit is red, not... Since Nate left without saying so much as a word, Mother seized the opportunity to marry me off to a proper elf prince. So far, I've managed to frighten off every candidate successfully. But she started... Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
See you later, Arbor.
See ya!
Mother thought it was unseemly of the bees to build their hive, and I don't think she could get used to the thought that she would... I convinced Mother not... However, should she be stung, then the hive... The bees are buzzing around the hive quite merrily. I convinced Mother not to have the hive removed. However, the bees are buzzing around the hive quite... This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the furthest corners of the... At the moment, it's no more than a... Mother pours water. She did this almost ever since the mirror... Arbor's pot, literally. A handy smooth stone, Arbor's sheepdog. If it were possible to hit fish with stones, who'd need a rod? If the bush had a heart, it would have skipped a few beats. Thanks.
Very well, Your Royal Highness. Huh, how old are you again?
I convinced Mother not to have... However, should... The bees are buzzing... I don't have a clue about fishing, but I'll try my luck. Just as I expected, nothing. On the other hand, somehow I have the feeling that I now know what I'm doing. As suspected, there are red herrings swimming in the pond. They are really saltwater fish that live in the sea. But they always come back to their homeland to breed. They're the only known fish variety that can scale nearly vertical cliffs. I guess that I can just practice until I'm good enough. Or I could try to speed things up by learning more about fishing elsewhere. Oh. A classic. A classic. A classic. A classic. Nothing. A classic. A classic. A classic. A classic. Oh. The spring brook emerges up there. It's still small here, but it becomes one of the largest and most important rivers in the woodland realm. A classic. Pity. At last. Now I can tick the red herring off my list. Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
About the potion,
Art?
there's something else. See you later, Arbor.
See ya!
This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can... At the moment... That's a weeping willow. It appears to be so content it looks anything but sad. I'm not. That leads up to the... I'm not. There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheep Cheep always says that it evaporates quickly. I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled joyous splashing and not insignificant body mass. There's only a little water left in the bird... I really shouldn't... it's only earth. I should tell Mother how her daughter... well, she'd be delighted. Do you need a couple of big fat worms to loosen the earth up for you?
No thanks, I've enough. I breed them in my pot.
A lovely spot, so long as the bees who have built their hive directly above the bench don't disturb you. I don't have any time to rest, and that's good. At last I've got something to do again. I convinced Mother not to have... However, should... I have to find the love lily's companion. The fairies would have known that it wouldn't have been able to survive without its partner. I have to... I'm going to have to take a few more of your seeds, but I promise this is the last time. This flower was given to us by the fairies, just like the love lily down in the garden. I bet they belong together. Look, do you know this flower?
Ha ha ha! You did well, girl.
It would appear so.
You snivelling, girl? You all right?
No. Yes? I don't know.
Well then, I think I've earned myself a little rest now.
The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. I don't know what I could ask him right now. You're having a good time, I see.
What can I do for you?
I have to get on. Don't work too hard.
That I won't.
The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. Isn't that just lovely? That's Arbor's little spade. He always leaves his... I just need to borrow your spade a moment. Is that okay?
Of course. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I'll only give it back when I don't need it anymore. The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. I don't know what I could ask him right now. There are reeds and water lilies growing in the pond. Naturally, they were planted there. They don't grow in the wild so high up the mountains. I can't think of any use for a water lily, but a reed could come in handy. The smoke from Arbor's pipe seems to be calming the bees. This is my chance.
Hey now, you all right there?
Sorry, had to do it.
Well, I'm not happy about this destruction of nature. Not unless I get half of that there honey.
I don't need any more. The rest is for you.
Oh, that'd be good stuff. But that's enough. The bees need a bit too.
Since Nate left without saying so much as a word, Mother seized the opportunity to marry me off to a proper... Thanks for the sacrifice, little fish. About 1 spoon of honey. Oh, that fruit smells really sour. Yes, the stone could be quite a useful pestle. First, I need all the contents in a bowl. Water's the easiest ingredient to find. We have copious amounts of it here. That should do it. The medicine book reckoned that it should be a viscous potion. Now I've got all the ingredients. I just need to crush them. I'm pretty sure that there's never been anything so utterly revolting concocted in the Elf Burrow ever. Oh, I hope this is some kind of joke. I don't know much, but I do know that I'm not going to drink this potion until I've had another chat to the medicine book about it. I need to know which disease this potion's meant to be good for. Looks as if it's been pre-digested several times. The worms are happy and fat. The earth in the bonsai. Hi.
Well, what's up?
The potion's ready, but you don't seriously expect me to drink it, do you?
You must.
Cheap, I'm so... Yes, I know, but... This, medicine. Well, I did tell you that I wasn't feeling well, and the medicine book here thinks it could be something serious.
She has to drink it, the sour metis fruit, sweet honey and salty fish. That should give us an answer.
Oh, it looks revolting.
It is medicine. It's not supposed to taste nice. That's right. Down to the last drop.
Not as bad as I was expecting. In actual fact, it's quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that.
Congratulations, Ivo. You are pregnant.
No. That is completely impossible. You must be wrong. Surely it's a misdiagnosis.
You are an elf and say that potion is quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that. That's raging hormones talking.
I don't have any hormones. Cheap, no. No, the book has made a mistake. I cannot be pregnant. I've never stood in the divine water with Nate on Midsummer's Night singing the Song of Life. Why? How do humans do it? They do what?
Elves and humans can have children together, but it's not possible without sex.
You see? We never had sex. At least not to my knowledge.
But the diagnosis is crystal clear.
Let's just pretend that I am pregnant. There must be some explanation, rational or otherwise.
If we discount the possibility that the child was conceived by natural means, which would certainly appear to be the case here, then that leaves us with just the unconventional conception methods. Did you, perhaps, make some kind of pact with a goblin regarding the child? Child in exchange for gold or a kingdom, for example?
No.
Has a god in the guise of a bull appeared to you in your dreams? Any angels been having a word with you?
No.
Have any stars fallen from the heavens recently?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Then that just leaves magic, or a curse. But unfortunately, that is not my area of expertise.
I wish it was so cheap, but my feeling is that the book is right. I am pregnant. I'm not sure how, and I'm not sure why, but it would appear that I'm pregnant. And as all other possibilities have been eliminated, then it must be a curse that's responsible. That is fantastic! No, of course I didn't mean it like that, but just think. Me, cursed. That sounds like an adventure. Totally obvious what we need to do now. We ask Archmage Alistair. He's the wisest magician in the realm of man, and he's a friend. He'll be able to tell us what it means. Oh, no, you don't. You remember who was meant to be looking after me so that nothing happens to me, don't you? Alistair's sure to have the answers. We'll have to track him down in the Mage Tower in Seastone. Only, how are we going to get there? Seastone is days away from here. Oh yeah, saying fly is all well and good. Are you going to teach me quickly then? No, we need a fast mode of transport. And then there's the small matter of the Border Watch. Their longbows can take out a fly's eye at 400 metres, and they will shoot if said fly should dare to set foot in or leave the woodland realm without permission. You don't by any chance know the password that the Border Watch use? Typical. That's exactly the problem. Mother chooses a new password every single day, and there's no way I'll get it out of her. Oh, why don't you know the password? You normally know everything. Hey, know-it-all. Mother's mirror. It knows more than you. It must know the password. If we work as a team, we should be able to cast a little light on the matter cheap. After all, if it is a curse, then I'm the victim, not the perpetrator. Well, yes, I know that. She'll blame us whatever happens. But it's best for us to have some answers rather than just presenting her the facts, don't you think? Transport and the password. Let's go.